Indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yom the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Okay, hello and welcome everybody. This is Kazan187, aka Dr. Destiny, and I'm going to be doing a new Let's Play of Dark Souls 3 from the beginning to hopefully to the end without rage quitting. But I was going to be going over a few things first before we obviously start it, but in the background obviously is the character creation, and obviously we'll get the show on the road. But obviously if you're new to the channel and you would like to see a whole series or walkthrough of Dark Souls 3, then obviously hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, it will help me out with the series, and obviously tell me what build you're going for at the moment. You're going to be doing PvP, obviously just going through a nice run through if it's your first time, and obviously leave that in the comment section below. I previously for about 2 hours done a sorcerer build and absolutely got wrecked with it because you start off with a rubbish dagger, and the spells are a little bit different this time around compared to previously. You get about 20 spells you can just spam until they run out, and then you refresh them once you go to the bonfire. With this one you actually have a magic meter, so obviously once that runs out then obviously you can't cast any more spells until you use Ashen Flask, which is basically like an Estus Flask, but instead of healing it does magic or increases the magic for it. The other ones I was looking at, as you can see in the background here, obviously Knight is the easiest one, very easy. That's what I'm going for at the moment, just so I can get used to the game. Best thing to choose out of these obviously is a life ring, I personally think, so you get the extra HP. You got obviously Hidden Blessing, restores FP, which is obviously good for sorcerer. Black Fire Bomb, probably not really worth it. Fire Gem, used to upgrade fire weapons, again not really worth it. I always just use life ring through all my playthroughs. Again, it's just a bit of a choose. Gives you a little bit of extra help at the beginning of the game. But Knight is what we're going to be going for. So we've got Vigor 12, Attunement 10, Endurance 11, Vitality 15, Strength 13, Dexterity 12, and so on and so forth. And you start off with a very, very good shield compared to the others. With these Sorcerer, even with blocking, when I went to the High Wall of Lothric, I was getting 15% damage taken while blocking, which is obviously just ridiculous, and you can't compete with that. So hence why I started a new build. But since playing with the Knight, I managed to do okay with it. I've probably about 2-3 hours in at the moment, and seem to be doing pretty solid with it. So overall, pretty good. And obviously, I've got a few weapons on the way. Let's load in. And it begins. Okay, this is basically just a tutorial area, so bear that in mind. It's not going to be as in depth as previously before, but hey ho. So in this area, you're just gonna pretty much just get basic stuff. So this is the Ashen Estus Flask thing that I was telling you about. Obviously it's not health this time, it's obviously gonna be for healing. So make sure you pick that up if you're doing a Sorcerer's build, Pyromancer. You're gonna need to pick it up anyways. But one thing I did notice later on, that you can actually convert that over into an Estus Flask if you wish to. So that's what I done after a little while of doing that. So bear that in mind if you're going for a strength build. I suggest you do so. It will help you out immensely, definitely. Let's see where we are. Okay, let's try and backstab this enemy here if we can. He's down. It's quite similar to Bloodborne at the moment though, so it's not that much different to it, I think, some of the stuff. Personally. We've got this archer guy here. He's down. Graphically, obviously, it's the same engine as Bloodborne, so you got to bear that in mind. So it's going to be pretty similar in that aspect. But from what they've been saying, you can obviously, the map is more intricate than it was in Dark Souls 2. Because obviously, the person who made Dark Souls 1 has obviously made Bloodborne and this, but they've intentionally made it so obviously most of the map is intricate and it obviously connects together, which was like what Dark Souls 1 was all about, and very, very good at doing. Dark Souls 2 was a bit more disjointed from the map and the player experience, I personally found anyways, so I didn't really like it as much, but it was still pretty good though. So it's a good game. It's just it didn't have the same like feel as Dark Souls 1 did to it, but again, I'm not going to complain. Any Dark Souls game is going to be very good. So let's bow to this guy. Again, when playing as a sorcerer, I got absolutely destroyed in this area by him, obviously, not by the normal enemies. They were just like one hit with the sorcerer stuff, and that was it. But I tend to, previous titles, especially Dark Souls 2, I was always played sorcerer because obviously I wasn't that good at that time. Still not that amazing now anyways, but I don't really go for strength builds as such. So I used to just spam people with missiles from a distance, and it's a lot easier to do it in that one compared to this. But you know, it's good to change playstyles every now and again. I was more of a hybrid kind of anyways. I used to wait until I got a decent shield and sword and things, and obviously spam stuff from a distance there's like multiple enemies, groups of enemies. I'm going to try and cheese this guy because it's going to take a while to kill him. So do a few hits from up here, jump down, see if I can kill the fucker. But I'm excited to play it anyways, like I'm waiting for a long time to play this. Bloodborne I've got to about 3/4 of the way through, and then I was stuck with the boss for about 2 hours. And then I think the next day after that, another game came out, I forget which one it was, and I stopped playing. And I'll come back to it like 6 months later on the same boss, which I was struggling with anyways. And obviously I forgot the buttons, the movement, all that type of jazz, so I just didn't bother. So I thought I'd wait until this comes out. This is like a hybrid of Bloodborne and Dark Souls 1 and 2 anyways. It's got a feel of Dark Souls 1 from what I've played of it so far. And the movement is still quite fast with enemies and obviously yourself, but you still have the shield rotating type of attack movements, especially with some of the bosses as well. If you try and stick between their feet, like you see this dude here, to avoid the larger attacks, and you can try and get him for backstab, or obviously just hit him from the side. And then obviously you do, well, maybe not as many hits as I just done then. It's a bit greedy. And then obviously just rotate and do the same thing again. Should be dead. See what actually drops. I didn't kill him when I played the sorcerers. So with sorcerer's build, I only got up to the high wall, so it was only like the first section. So obviously at this point I know what I'm doing. So, but after that it will be completely just off the top of my head. So it won't be recorded like this type of thing. It'll be in the moment, and it'll be a bit of a shock what's going on. But I kind of, and obviously I've watched a few videos as well which kind of ruined some of the bosses. So once we get past the first like 15-20% of the game, I will know nothing. I tried to avoid streams of Dark Souls, but I have watched a few videos unfortunately, so I kind of roughly know what the bosses are like, but doesn't mean I'll know how to defeat them and stuff as per se, because watching a video and playing Dark Souls is a completely different experience. Soul of the Unknown Traveller, so we can use them later on. Increase our souls. We've got 4,000 already actually. We've got quite a few from killing that guy, and we've got the Titanite Scale, which is used for, I think it's infusing one or two, but I'll go over that later on when we speak to the blacksmith. And we got a glorious vista. These games absolutely blow it out of the park when it comes to like vistas and skyboxes. That's the word, the skybox in the game. It's fucking amazing. And that's the high wall of Lothric over there, or Lordric, I think it's called. One of the two. It might be Lothric. But it just looks amazing. And then this is obviously got a nod back to, I say Dark Souls 1 and 2, but this is obviously Firelink Shrine, which is over there. So obviously same as Dark Souls 1. Obviously it doesn't look the same though, but it's got the kind of modular feel of it with the tower, which is obviously Dark Souls 2. So they've kind of made this the hub world, hub area, and this is where you level up as well, but I'll go over that again once we get there. So let's set a bonfire. There's a couple enemies down there, so you need to watch out. But yeah, with the sorcerer's like shield, it was shit. Even this guy here, obviously I took some damage, but probably like a 0.5 or some shit. I was taking like 5% from him, I was lucky, which is ridiculous. So at least with the knight, you can kill things in like 2-3 hits, especially these dudes, because they're beginning guys, aren't they? And you can actually block as well, which is what a shield should fucking do. But these were wooden shields, and this is sorcerer, so it's a different type of build. So what do you expect? But it just seems a lot harder than it was previously, which is probably a good thing. So otherwise you get people like me who kind of cheeses the early game by spamming missiles at enemies and bosses and whatnot, and not really learning the game as what it should be, which is obviously hack and slash. I'm gonna do punch attack. bow and arrow dude. Here. Backstab? No. I was going to say, we've got the boss area coming up in a second, but I don't have any fire bombs, so I'll try and remember where they are now. Because it's an area you can go to grab some. I did when I was playing as a sorcerer anyways. There we go, it's down here. Let's pull back. His shield's so fucking shit. Okay, fire bombs. Got 5 as well. Let's equip them. And you'll see why in a minute. It's similar to obviously Bloodborne as well, where if you remember when they go into beast mode, it's very similar to that. But this is obviously, don't quote me with the lore. That's one thing I will say. If any of these videos, if anyone goes, you got this wrong, I'm probably going to get the lore wrong, because it's very hard to understand what's going on in these games, and you kind of depict it in what you perceive it as. And this is the first boss. But instead of it being beast mode like in Bloodborne, it's obviously when you turn to Cinder, and I'll explain that again in a minute as well. Let's have a look at this cool little area with the gravestones. And this is the first boss, but again, this is a tutorial boss, so don't expect anything fancy. There we go. The Vista skybox again. These games are so beautiful, that's what I love about them. Definitely one of the draw points of the game is without the actual gameplay in itself. Let's remove the sword. Kill this fucker. Get a few little cheap hits in before he. Yep. Okay, I did register with that then. Before he gets up. Ludex, Gundyr. So this is a tutorial boss, but the best thing I'd say for most bosses, especially very fast moving ones like this, get in very close and just rotate around them, get a couple hits, rotate, rinse and repeat. Obviously try and judge how many hits they do. Attacks, so like 2, 3, and now this is what the fire bombs are going to be used for. I don't actually use them, but you do use them in this thing, you go distance, but again, when it goes into this kind of like weird beast mode thing, you don't want to be getting too far away from it, because he will just crush you and stand down. So again, try and stay close, get hits. He's nearly dead now actually. Waiting a bit too long. Oh, okay, watch out, watch out. I'm dying, I'm dying. And then, just try and rinse and repeat. Probably rotating a little bit too long on this bit, but just to be safe. Hits me again. There you go. He's down. That's quite easy. They won't all be like that, trust me. Probably be like 3, 4, 5 fucking deaths. That's more than that. And this was going to say, it's an Ember restored. So when you get your Ember, kind of basically like humanity and like in the previous games. But this one though, it doesn't just make you human, it makes you more powerful. So you see my health and everything has gone up slightly because of it. I don't know the actual percentage, but it has gone up because of it. So obviously you have benefits from being without dying, but same as when you use human, you can do co-op and stuff like that. Humanities and Dark Souls 1, and obviously similar thing to Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne. Bloodborne was a bit different, but you get the idea. They always have the same feature in it. And now we've got 7,000 souls. So this area is going to be leading up to the Firelink Shrine, which is going to be our hub world. Homeward Bone, always useful. Okay, a couple enemies up there, so just be careful. through here. Oh, watch out. These are very similar to the villages in Bloodborne a little bit. Obviously with the Dark Souls feel, shields and stuff like that, but some of the villages in Bloodborne had the shields, saying that in the beginning area. That is easy, one hit. And one thing I always say to you guys, if obviously you're new to the Dark Souls series, always search everything. So every nook and cranny, there might be an item or something you can grab, or secret, illusionary wall. There's all sorts of things. Obviously, once I find some of that stuff, or watch other people's videos of things like that, then I'll try and record it myself maybe, and find some little areas where you can get some miracles, hexes, weapons, all sorts. Oh fuck. Okay, it's me looking at the vista. Classic Dark Souls. Never gets old. While I was looking at the beautiful scenery, that fucker tries to attack me. I bow to no man. But maybe a duck. There we go. That is fucking beautiful. I can't believe how good these things look. Sorry if I'll keep creaming over these, but they look amazing. There's going to be plenty more vistas in this game. Full show. Okay, let's leap round, see if we can find anything else. There we go. Here we go, embers. And obviously Ember is the humanity, so let's equip them. So this is what happened to me once I killed the boss, but obviously when I die, you know, each boss I kill is not going to do that to me. I think that's just because it's a tutorial thing. But if I die now, obviously if I want to go back to this state, I'll have to use the Ember. Kind of like humanity, same process but just different name. Obviously the theme of this Dark Souls 3 is the Lords of Cinder, or Ash, Fire, Brimstone, all that type of stuff. Okay, there's an item on that tree thing up there, let's see if there's anything else. Okay, and up there is the guy with the katana, which again, unfortunately I've seen it in videos of people trying to kill him and stuff like that. But we're going to try and do that. We'll see if the katana is any good, if it's something we can use. And we've got a shield there, I'll check out in a minute. Whoa! Definitely in a minute. Okay, let's pull back. Roll. There we go. Okay, trying to think if we should take him on or go inside. I think we'll take him on afterwards. We'll talk to the people and then we'll kill him afterwards. And we've got another ember. And another homeward bone. Okay. Yeah, I think we might as well go in, I think. Speak to a few of the NPCs. Also, if you're going to be talking to the NPCs, just basically anyone that you can buy stuff from, chat to, anything like that, always exhaust the dialogue because you can always find quest lines, you can find extra things from them. Sometimes they give you things as well. Plus, it's good for the lore, so if you want to find out about the story, always speak to the NPC until they repeat themselves, which we'll see a few probably in a minute once I speak to them. Let's go up here first though. And this is a nod back to Dark Souls 2 with the giants, or the trees, which you see here. So examine that. The seed of a giant tree is yet to fall. And obviously later on in the game, in Dark Souls 2, you obviously release them. And that is locked. And from what I found out, not for, oh, we can obviously go there as well. Suppose you could buy a key for 20,000 souls off the lady downstairs and that tower will open. I don't actually know what's in the tower, so once we get a spare 20,000 later on in the walkthrough or playthrough, then obviously we'll try and open it up and see what we've got in there. Let's head back down again. And might as well speak to this guy over here.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we are talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think? What a sick joke. Asking us to seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends, though.
Okay, like I said, obviously exhausted the conversation with him, and then we might as well put the bonfire. So this is going to be our hub now, Firelink Shrine. So we can travel to, we can attune spells, which we haven't got any as of yet, but I've got one empty slot. We can organise the storage box, which is pretty cool, so we can store stuff if we want to. Probably won't be using it, but it's always a good feature. I don't think it's been in previous titles, from what I remember. And obviously this is the high wall of Lothric, but we're not going to go there as of yet.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I am a firekeeper. I tend to the flame
Fire starter.
and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side. Very well.
Okay, step
Then
up.
touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
So Vigor is HP. Attunement is obviously spells. We might as well increase the Vigor though. So attunement is going to be FP and how fast you cast and stuff like that. We don't need that. Endurance is stamina, so obviously we can hit for longer. Or do more hits, sorry. Apologise. Vitality is equipment load, which is going to be quite beneficial if you want to put better armour on. Strength, obviously, we want more strength so we can do more damage when we attack. And we get better resistances as well to go with that. Intelligence is more for sorcerer's builds, so obviously for magic, etc, etc, we don't need that. So we're not going to do that. And then probably do luck, because luck is a new one. So this is basically the luck if you're getting drops from enemies, so we can obviously get better equipment, better swords, axes, armor pieces, stuff like that. Probably best not to put that up too high, but it's maybe better beneficial early game than it is later game, I would assume. But we've increased a few things, and we are now level 15.
One. May the flames guide thee.
Because we started off at level 9, I think, with the knights.
Ashen one. Produce the coil, the mark of ash will guide thee to the land of the lords. To Lothric, where the homes of the lords converge. Ashen one, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how. Ashen one, bring me souls plucked from their vessels. Ashen one, sovereign. I will show Ashen.
Okay, so she's
Farewell,
repeating
Ashen
herself as
one.
well now. So obviously we
May
obviously
the
the conversation
flames
with her.
guide thee.
Excuse me.
A pleasure
Let's
to
talk to
make
this
thy
lady.
acquaintance, Ashen One.
And she's one of the
I
ladies
am
at the
the
beginning
humble
of Dark Souls
handmaid of
2.
the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont.
So she's going to be the one that sells stuff, kind of like the old hag in Dark Souls 2. But you can't actually see that woman's face in Dark Souls 2, the witch lady. So she sells stuff as well. But this is what I'm saying, she's actually selling the key for 20,000 souls. By fire bombs, prism stones, soul arrows are made by that, so we can spam shit from a distance. That's the tower key. The white soapstone I'm going to buy so we can do co-op if we wish to, so help other people out on bosses, etc. And obviously other stuff that they sell is like chimes, talismans, so for clerics and shit like that, shields, armor pieces, but it's probably nothing you really want to buy from her at this particular moment. Probably best to save your souls. Obviously if you're a sorcerer you already start off with a soul arrow, so you don't have to worry about that. But the way I treat the soul arrow as for a strength build like this is kind of just like having a bow. Means you can shoot something to aggro it to come towards you. So say there's a bunch of 5 enemies, instead of using a bow, you could do the same thing with a bow, but I can obviously use a spell, lock
if
onto
my
the
wares
target,
are not
hit
to
it
thy
a little bit from
satisfaction,
distance, and then
bring me
obviously
umbral ash.
aggro it to come towards me.
With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
And what she's talking about there is, I think when you kill a boss, you might be able to obtain their weapons. You did in the previous games
is it not our...
from giving her that Umbra things that she's talking about. We'll have to see once we've killed a few enemies and then come back to her. But I might be able to get a boss's shield or a sword or an axe or whatever.
Newcomer, I see.
And
I
this
am
is
Andre. I serve at
Andre
this
from
shrine
Dark Souls 1.
as a humble
Classic.
smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose.
So we've got reinforced weapon, which is the same as the previous titles. You need 2 Titanite shards to increase anything at the moment, but I'm not going to waste them until I get a weapon that I actually want to upgrade, which is pretty decent. Obviously we've got starting weapons and shields, so there's no point of bothering to reinforce these at all. Maybe the katana once we get that, but we'll have a quick look at what we need for it. We can infuse weapons, so we can put like fire damage, lightning, etc, etc. once you get certain gems. I haven't really dabbled in this in the past, so I'll have to find that out. Create equipment, and this is the thing I was talking about. So we can increase the Estus down or up. So if you're going for a magic build, you can even have 4 of the Ashen ones, which basically increases your magic, but obviously you have nothing to heal yourself. So I'm going to have 3 and 1 for the meanwhile, and
Weapons
see how it goes,
and
and maybe
protection
put it
are
up to 4
sturdy
after that.
enough by and large. But when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would.
So
There
he's
are
basically
2
just
ways
explaining
to
what I
smith
just kind of went
weapons.
over. But
Simple reinforcement is one, and infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down. Another matter. Infusing weapons with gems requires a special kind of coal. My humble coals won't be any use infusing more unusual gems. I know, it's an awful shame, but it's all I have. Oh, please don't give me that look. Believe it or not, I'm quite thin-skinned.
there you are, Andre. Andre the
Oh,
Giant.
by the way, if you find any Estus shards, bring them here. They can be used to reinforce either of your Estus flasks. Without those flasks, you'd want for life or focus. And they'll always stay with you. Why not treat them well? Huh?
So, with the Estus flasks,
Weapons
I haven't
never
actually had
bring
any increases
over.
as of yet. But the Estus flask shards give it a +1 or +2, etc. So basically, when I use the Estus flask, it will actually give me more health. But I don't know if it actually increases the Estus flask in itself, because obviously with the previous title, Dark Souls 2, you start off about 5, I think it was, and then it went all the way up to 10 once you got more of the shards. It might be the same thing then, I'd assume. Yhorm the Giant of the Profaned Capital. This is obviously all the bosses from the beginning sequence that was in the beginning. Watchers of the Abyss. I'm not looking forward to fighting them. They look pretty gruesome, there's loads of them. Holy King Lothric, Last Hope of the Line. And we've actually got one of the, I don't know if he's going to be a boss later on, but he's sitting in a chair there. We can actually speak to him, but he'll have more dialogue later on in the game. Ludex the Exiled, he's called. And then the last one is Saint Aldrich of the Deep, which is that weird blob thing from the beginning sequence.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my child course. This sad cadaver, no need to be coy. Have a closer look. Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones will take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast-fading flame must be linked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a Lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a Colossus. Knowest thou of...
Yeah, boy.
So I may... Now.
Okay, he's repeating himself again. But supposedly you can come back to him later on, and obviously you'll have a bit more dialogue once you get further into the storyline, etc. Let's have a quick look down here, see if I've missed anything when I was on my Sorcerer's couple hours playthrough. I think from videos I've seen as well, I tried to not watch too much because obviously spoilers, but some of the NPCs that you find in like the world will come back to Firelink Shrine, like the previous titles, like Dark Souls 2, etc. So that area should obviously fill out a little bit more. Fuck it, we might as well try and kill this guy as well now. Kill these two first. Let's try and get his katana and see what we need for it. See if our strength and dexterity is high enough. Probably should have waited to use our souls until we got this, but we shall see in a minute. Try and kill this fucker. Okay, he hits very fast and very quick. Fuck. And that looked like he does bleed damage as well, which obviously would be good if we can get that, but... Okay, let's try and kick the fucker off. There you go, Sage's Ring. Sorceress of Thoron's Abyss Watchers. Okay, missed the rest of that text. But the Abyss Watchers is one of the bosses, so... Which is the guys, there's like 4 or 5 of them. They look like shit versions of the ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings. What the fuck? Why has it got mist on there? Okay. Okay, that's a bit weird. I don't know what I was doing that for. That's a bit strange. Let's run back, see if it does it now. There we go. Yeah, let's try and kick him off the edge. I don't think we can do enough damage on him without getting hit. There we go. Fading soul. Pick up my souls. Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out. Fuck me. Okay. Get a few hits back. God, is that it? We've done absolutely no damage at all. Oh, here we go, Pick him up, hit him up. Yes! But we're not going to be able to grab the weapon. So, we may have to do some kamikaze here. Kamikaze! I think we have to commit suicide. Let's jump off the edge. And then we'll retrieve the weapons. Let's do a jump for joy. And then jump off the edge. Geronimo! Yeah, there you go. There's the item there on the right. Please spawn on the top. I don't want to go through all that. Well, I wouldn't be able to kill him again, would I? Once he's dead, he's dead. I don't think he's one that respawns, so... I assume the items when we've gone to the top there, they probably realise that. The two people up there. Let's see what happens. Come on. Let's see if it's there. There's my souls. Yeah, there we go. It's up there. It's got to be. Can we hit it again? Well, I think this is alright for the first part. We've obviously killed one boss. And we've done the Firelink Shrine little area. Let's have a look. So we need 16 dexterity. We've got 11 strength though. It's not actually as good, but it has the additional effects of 33 bleed. So obviously that is the well, I don't know what the minus 46 thing is for that. It weighs more though, so obviously my roll is going to be it's a lot slower than I'm previously using now. So until I build up my equipment load, I won't be able to use it. These are crap, so we'll probably sell them at some point. Master's gloves. I get some souls from them at least. I'm not going to use that, so I say the next time we level up, then we need to build our dexterity up so we can see if it's any good. There's going to be some weapons at some point that we're going to need dex up anyways, so we can obviously wield them. So it's not going to be a bad thing if we increase that, I don't think. Well, okay guys, I think we're going to end the part here. We've obviously explored the Firelink Shrine, spoke to a couple of the NPCs, hopefully we'll bring some more back later on, at a later date. But in part 2, we're going to be going to the High Wall of Lothric. I hope you enjoyed the first part guys, I hope you stick around for the rest of the series, and then I'll see you all in part 2. And obviously if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and give the video a like. See you all in part 2 guys, bye bye.